Welcome,
Welcome
liners.
to command line.
Welcome
to
to
command
command
line. I'm
line,
not just gonna say
everyone.
nothing this time. Welcome to
Oh,
command
wait, this is
line.
action mode. This is hot.
Yeah,
This
we're
is hot.
heart. We're heart.
Fine.
We're command hearts. Shh. There you go. We're all in there.
Yeah.
All right, welcome back after a week off, as we always have a week off.
Week on, week off, the weaker.
Weaker for it. Tarbeck, every time you shave, you look 10 years younger.
Yeah,
You go
yeah,
from
I get that a lot.
you go from the oldest to the youngest out of this crowd.
Yeah.
This little lip maneuver that I'm doing right there. There we go.
Yeah.
This little lip maneuver.
Ah!
That's the baby lip.
this is fucking stupid. Oh, God.
What a way to be. For the serious place that we're in, we need this moment of levity because
That's true. That's true.
oh wow, are things going to get and stay dark? I think.
Yeah, you know, it's prep for this episode. I watched Children of Men twice in one day.
Jesus. Yeah.
Jesus Christ, you might say.
Indeed, I would say.
Yeah, Children of Men is the Command Hearts film adaptation. You know, they took some liberties.
Mhm.
Oh God.
What's the quote for today?
Oh, you're budging me right into the broadcast.
Well, we did delay by quite a bit.
That's fair enough. I posted
All right,
it.
whose turn is it?
I'll go. Okay, Act 3, Chapter 7, City of Embers. This is in all caps, by the way. The natural universe does not try to hide itself. It does not care if anything observes it. Traces of hidden signals would be the signs of disparity. If we could find those traces of intentionality in the human population, we could trace them back to their sources.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
Shout out City of Ember.
Yeah, shout out.
Is that book good?
I watched the movie adaptation. I liked it a lot. Anyway, recap. We're doing recap. I'm resurrecting a tradition. Last thing first. Sheila, shattered a citizen's arm, out of vengeance, and it turned my stomach, my actual flesh and blood stomach. I was like, whoa, that's a bit much.
Yeah. That was punishment for having taken my sword some time ago. Just clarifying. I'm just clarifying. You know, I'm not trying to cast judgment or valor on anything. I'm just you know.
Okay.
It's an explanation, not an excuse.
Precisely.
There we go.
Yeah, you should distance yourself from that by saying that Sheila did it for this reason.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't.
Okay.
Unless you think Janai did it.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. So, at the beginning of last episode, Jack Efron made it very clear that despite outward appearances of functionality, he's quite unwell.
Yeah. Not holding it all together.
And maybe mixed up about what things are true and false.
Yeah, he's having a bad time thinking about the state of things.
Yeah, really, really turned around. A lot of a patchwork of doublethink and cognitive dissonance, you might say.
Cognitive dissonance.
Cognitive dissonance. Yes.
Ooh.
So we wind up back at the machinist shop, and we drop Joe there, and we're setting out to go do a thing, and we're setting out to. We first talked to Hantayumi last time.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't set out to do that.
We
Home.
were trying to call home, and what we actually did was talk to Hantayumi.
Yeah.
And
well, you checked in a little bit with Pearl. You're jumping around a lot.
Yeah. And Hantayumi was like, I am in no way suspicious when I suggest that you should do this thing for me. You should give me a body, and I will definitely be responsible with it. Trust me.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, yeah, sure. Can you point us in the direction of that guy who took our shit? And he was like, no. But I can kind of a little bit. And then so we decide to set a trap, and Shadow Man ambushes us anyway. We were holding still and still got ambushed. Not
with like a fucked up how we describe it, like 2-in-1, presumably former citizen turned cog, this like really weird kind of piecemeal fucked up monstrosity looking.
Yeah, he's like a Dr. Mengele creation, forced conjoinment of twins who understandably probably lost his mind.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
They lost their minds, I should say.
Yeah.
Because we
had a pretty crazy fight with them. It did like 12 damage to me in one shot. That's pretty. I'm pretty roughed up at the moment.
Yeah, you got critted, and then you were happy that you didn't say immediately before that. Shouldn't crits do double damage?
Yeah. Sai got a nat 20, and then the game got a nat 20 back.
Yeah, it was fair's fair.
Fair is fair, even when it's it's always fair to somebody. There we go.
Yeah.
You got a gun out of that encounter.
Yeah, we got a gun.
I have this weathered rail rifle that does pretty good damage for 2 power, and for 4, I can. If I have it powered for 4, I can spend my whole turn and have it deal double damage.
Yes.
It's very good.
Yeah, but you took that guy's gun and he ran away. Basically, he was carried away by. He like dived into like a flood of water.
Yeah.
And was carried away by it. Meanwhile, you're being flanked by Shadow Man.
We fought, and then there was this like.
Yeah, you did like a fan maneuver.
Yeah. It was pretty shonen, I think.
It was
shonen. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah,
that's something that somebody would do in One Piece.
Yeah.
We did a One Piece move.
I was gonna say,
that's how we beat him.
I was gonna say it's more like a part that screams to me as like a JoJo Part 4 thing, where like a character has a totally straight face while they're like just they're just posing in Z spinning. No. JoJo characters aren't animated. They don't move like that.
No, the background is like twisting around them.
Yeah.
As they are still in the frame.
Moving manga, but not the characters, just the background.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we Danny and Jack subdued this guy, and then I came up. Sheila came up, and broke the arm off.
You ripped it off.
Yeah. I can imagine it as just like a straight, like, crunching and then pulling it off. But
have you ever taken a twig that has like herbs on it and then pinched your fingers and then just like squished the leaves off? Yeah, that's what I was picturing.
That's a pretty accurate portrayal.
Was he bleeding?
No.
Yeah.
That wasn't described, at least.
It was going to be.
Okay.
We just moved on really fast. Anyway, we be invisible because we took all of his stuff, and then we like hauled him into a building and where we could hide out, and then like try to talk to him or something. He like passed out from the pain initially, and he was like starting to come to, and
no, you tried to question him. You tried to question him.
He said, right, and he could not emotionally handle the questioning, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, he said to let him go, and then you like kind of lay into him for stealing your shit or for being a bad guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and then he just shuts down.
Mm-hmm.
He goes into the rest mode that you were just in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, after that you're now hiding out in like a hollowed out government building. You have checked for bugs. There are no bugs.
Yeah, because we don't want Hantayumi to find out that we've got this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Were we not trying to make it back to...
You were trying to finish your rest.
A minor note. At the beginning of that, when I was doing the Jack patchwork thing, like we skipped past this, but everybody has a conversation with Jack that actually like gets all of the like twisted around in his brain stuff out onto the field so that you can see and interact with it.
Mm-hmm.
I was supposed to think of a catalyst, and like every time, I didn't. So, one of these days, maybe I'll remember to make a new catalyst. I was gonna do this thing where I like shave only half of my face, but it like timing wise, it didn't work out.
Yeah.
So I had the line.
You gotta shave the eyebrow too.
I would not do that.
That is too extreme. That's too much.
It grows back.
In like a few months.
I am not Jesse enough for that.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Also, I have a note here. I forget what it's about, but I made a note of it, so it has to be important. Something is gonna happen at 7. Does anybody remember anything about that?
Yeah, that's the next day.
That's the execution.
Yeah, that's the show of force.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Also, at some point during that, we did something that was either so serious or so spectacular that we got like a point of inspiration for it. It says for me and one other person. Don't know what to.
That was when you had your conversation. I think I gave everyone a point of connection.
Yeah.
I
remember that happening.
Yeah, but there was I remember the words take +1 hold.
Oh, let's see, what was that for? I think that was in combat. I think that like is not relevant.
If that's elapsed, then so be it.
I think that has lapsed.
Okay, taking that note down.
Any other notes from the previous session?
What the fuck, Sheila? You didn't have to... he's maimed now. Apparently, unlike us, you can't just give him a new arm.
Says who?
We're now in the scene. We're in your I'm gonna imagine that there's a lamp on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Not for the purposes of outing you to someone who might be looking for you, but purely for the purposes of direction.
Yeah. For the drama.
Yeah, I want there to be a lamplight that you are like kind of gathered around.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or to say that you picked a room that just has a lamp on.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Shadow Man is like sat in a heap in a corner. This is like a stripped bare conference room. I think like the table is still in here because it's like too big to move, but like all the chairs have been taken out.
Mm-hmm.
And like some of the furniture has been like smashed and broken down halfway.
In the light, we can probably get a shot that emphasizes how like any surface damage on Shadow Man is bleeding. Actually,
Yeah, he's like bleeding from that arm. I've decided what the lamp is. The lamp is like an old projection slider that is just like busted open, and the light is on, and it's like kind of like tittering and ticking as it's like a very old light.
Yeah.
It's just like pointed straight up at the ceiling, and then it like reflects around. Yeah, Sheila, you wanna talk with Jack about this?
No, Sheila doesn't want to talk about this.
Jack wants to.
yeah, I'm trying to inspect the arm, and I can fix cars. I cannot fix people. But I'm taking a look anyway because like we've been in a lot of like bad situations. I want to see what is doable about this. Staunch the bleeding or something. I imagine the bones inside this part of the arm are like gravel now.
I think it's like below the elbow at least.
Okay, that's something.
That's something. You know, it doesn't make it less painful. It just makes it slightly more treatable. Yeah, so you're looking over Shadow Man. You guys have stripped him of his like cloak, so he's just like kind of his bare metal. He has that. He has like a dark purple black metal scheme. He's very slim. He's like the size of a smaller person. He's not like particularly hefty. You know, like Gutsman is like a huge guy. He's like twice as tall as a person. Shadow Man is like small enough to easily like blend into a crowd.
Right.
Yeah, I think he doesn't have or like his helmet is retracted like when he passed out. Like how you guys have helmets that can retract. I think he does too. He has like kind of like mid-length black hair. It's not like chin length. It's probably like covers his ears though and like his eyes. Oh, he probably has like he probably has more of like a mask that like covers up to his nose. I think that it like goes out of the way. It like splits down the middle and is like off to the sides.
Like Best Jeanist?
Best Jeanist?
Yeah.
My Hero Academia character.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, like Best Jeanist.
I would hope for a more top appropriate one, like Raiden. Raiden has his shield mask that like splits in the middle and like folds around the side of his head.
Oh, he has a Keshurn mask. That's cool.
Yeah, he has been stripped of his cloak and most of his parts. You can still see like the low power mode of his engine. It's like blinking softly in his chest, and he has like one arm that's a broken. His right arm is broken off like below the elbow, and there's like if you look at it closely, like you look into it, there is like you can see like a shards of the bone like sticking out in there amongst the like oil and wire.
Mhm.
It doesn't look like he has skin underneath there. It's like muscle, and then his exoskeleton is like, or like his robot parts are his skin now.
Gotcha.
And then he has like a layer of plating over that in like small bits kind of around him. But he's overall he's not built for combat, so he just has like small bits of guarding around him. Probably on him it's like kind of it's like almost scaly or like chainmail in places. Yeah. You know, he's still like a massive threat to people, but to you in a straight on fight, like he is harmless now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the guy knew his capabilities. We were gonna divvy up his stuff. Did we ever do that?
No. You have his damage cloak, you have his eclipse driver. You thought about divvying up his stuff if I remember correctly, and then you were considering giving it back to him.
Yeah, we said we'd do it next time.
My intention is to talk to him when he wakes up.
Yeah, by the way, you did not take out his engine. It's listed here.
Right.
Yeah.
You just inspected
it. Because we inspected it, and one of the things we learned is when you take out their engine, they die.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's something that's special about you guys.
Mm-hmm. In fact, that's part of my strat. I have a plan.
Yeah, you have a plan. But that's a plan for
Joe.
Joe. I guess it could be a plan for this guy. I don't know. Your plan.
Yeah.
Your
Like,
goal.
I want this to be my move. I have every intention of doing it multiple times.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to have a talk? Do you want to have that talk with? Hey, Danny, do you want to help Jack have this talk with Sheila?
I do.
Yeah. How about you engage since Jack has been like shut down?
Hey Sheila, you alright there?
I don't know. She says, like, looking at the sword.
No, they're not all right. They maimed a kid.
I'll remind the audience that the sword is now one sword, and it is now black in the middle with just like the silver edge.
Yeah.
I think we said that when you picked it up, it filled with fire. So you're holding it. It still has like a low flame decal on it, basically.
Yeah.
The connection part of it is gone.
Yeah.
Scene resume.
I know it meant a lot to you, but I don't think he deserved that.
I don't think we can afford to be so choosy about what our enemies do and don't deserve.
I don't think we can afford to be so choosy about how much people deserve when we are looking for allies. He's been lied to his entire life. The guy never had a chance.
We were lied to our entire lives.
Yeah, it's not that different. We came around. look at this.
What am I looking at?
I don't hold it up, but I'm like pointing both hands at the at the forearm of this guy, and how like the chassis is all crumpled in places, and they're like bone and wire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is where Sheila like sees that there is blood mixed in with oil.
Yeah.
I don't know really how to stop the bleeding on a normal person. Like, I don't know what to do here.
Remember what
we
you
know
said?
some.
Go on.
No, you.
I'm gonna try and find like a vein or something like that and just pinch it closed.
Remember what you said about not wanting to make the same mistake with Samson twice? You're kind of doing that right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'm not one to talk, but we could be better than this.
Jack, you're rooting around in this guy's arm. I'd say you find like two big like like an artery and a vein that are the primary blood flow. You like pinch them together, and you get a real mess on your like white glove hand. It does a little to help stem the bleeding. It feels more like you're preventing the oil from like getting into his blood, more so than you're preventing him from like bleeding out. He needs probably gonna need something. You'd probably be best off fixing his like oil leak and then bandaging it with some kind of fabric.
Okay. I was actually thinking I want to pull like a piece of tubing out of my own arm to use the way that you would use heat shrink tubing to junction the artery and vein together.
Okay.
Well, okay, if you're doing all that, if I see that you're trying to staunch this bleeding, I have actual material to like tourniquet it.
You did gather all that cloth.
Yeah. I did. I will wordlessly toss some to you.
It lands next to me, and I acknowledge it and everything, but no words happen with that. I just like because I kind of have to focus on the thing that I'm doing.
Sure.
You know,
if we want to try and talk to him, we should get him to the machinist. He can fix him up better than we can.
This has to happen now. Like when you cut this was his arm. When you cut a guy's wrist, that's kind of important. I would like to connect these two blood vessels together. Also,
can I assist? I would like to assist. I think my catalyst applies here.
Yeah. I think your catalyst applies in such a way that you might want to be the one who's being helped by Jack.
Yeah. If you start doing the vein stuff, then I will start doing the machine stuff because that's already my background.
I think what you could do is like also like help instruct me because yeah, like I
all right. Jack, you're assisting with mechanical stuff. Do your mechanical stuff first. You're gonna try to like basically like redirect flow of hydraulic, like his like hydraulic fluid or whatever that's leaking out.
Okay. All right. Healing someone feels like a connection roll to me.
It is.
That's
Alright.
true.
17.
Bam. Hey Ricardo, can you read me your character's catalyst?
Mend that which is broken.
Yeah. I'm gonna say that Jack, you succeed. You succeed in giving Danny advantage. Take a catalyst also.
Nice.
Oh. Yeah.
Wait, is that to? I guess that's to me.
That is double advantage. That's what I am giving you.
Oh.
Double advantage catalyst roll.
Well, we know what my rolls.
Yeah,
That
you
might
need
not
every
matter.
you need every +1 you can get.
Yeah, that's a free success right there.
Mm-hmm.
Free success that gives you a point.
That's
Let me tell you how much Danity has changed.
Yeah.
At least stat wise. Connection is more than double. Every other stat.
Wow.
Yeah,
Amazing.
he's got
my
7 in it.
boy.
Huh?
Is that 7?
Yep.
Yeah.
It is now double every other stat and now more than both combined.
Amazing.
Yeah.
All right.
I feel like the engine pull that's coming up is gonna be more effective on Shadow Man than on Joe, because I don't know how much Joe knows about how citizens work. We'll see.
This could be a good moment for him too.
Yeah. All right. He looks. Well, that's not getting worse immediately, so
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I
call
think
that a win.
when it's finished, you wrap his arm and then like tuck it underneath his like skin suit,
Mm-hmm.
or like underneath like his like an armor plate over his skin suit basically, and you have like you like ripped something out of you have like ripped a rubber like belt out of Jack's thing, and it it just like patches up, or it like forms a new type of part instead in its place. Like you tear out a belt and then it like changes to be hydraulic or something.
Mm.
And you like take that part, that like belt you ripped out, and then you just use it to tie it off. Yeah, he's stabilized. I think the light of his engine like it continues like blinking slow on and like on to off, but it doesn't go fully off now. It just like goes from dim to bright. All right, I think you guys can finish your nap now.
All right. If I go back down, if I rest, are you going to treat him well?
I'll keep an eye on him. And you.
Rouse me if he stirs first, and
Sure.
then I like go to power down.
I trust you, Sheila.
Thank you.
All right, you both power down. Sheila Janai, you are left alone with your own thoughts.
Yeah.
Would you
Do
like
you guys talk to each other?
would you like to do a scene between Sheila and Janai?
Do I want to do that? What do you mean by that?
I mean, I get Janai, you get Sheila. Go.
I don't think I want to do that, actually, because at this point, I'm not comfortable giving over character control like that.
Okay.
The thing about them at this point is that they're like, they do not perceive themselves as separate entities. I think it's
so like an Oscar Ozpin thing, but they're cool with it.
Yes.
Okay.
I think you know, there's a lot of heated internal monologuing that you know is all coming from the same place.
Can you give us a nature of that at least?
Okay.
Give us your word cloud that you're like spinning in.
It starts off as like the question of, okay, they thought that was they thought that was the wrong idea. Why did they think that? Let's just try to like break down logically. Okay, they disagreed with what happened there. Why? What was going on there?
They being your two party members.
Yes, the boys. And you know, there's the thought of, well, we kind of did the thing that we always do, which is react without thinking, react without asking questions, and right, like sometimes that's what we need in order to keep ourselves alive, but other times that alienates people who would otherwise help us. Like, remember when we wrote that down to be like conscious of it? It's like, yeah, I fucking remember. Like, yes. It's just. It's hard to be in that kind of situation where you don't know what's going on. You have to make spur of the moment reflexive decisions in order to protect yourself and your team. Yeah.
And then who gives the reminder of, but I wasn't protecting him from anything, protecting them from anything. He was pinned in place.
Yeah, I think that's like a parallel realization of like, well, that isn't actually what was happening. Yeah, huh.
Yeah. In honor of this particular event, I've reworded the first principle to be offer a hand before clenching a fist.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. Okay. So how do you feel coming out of it?
Definitely remorseful. Definitely like, oh, if I had to like adjudicate that situation from afar, I would think the thing I did was unnecessary and cruel. That's how.
What are you doing with the cloak that you pulled off of him?
It's probably sitting folded next to me.
Yeah. Where are you at?
Yeah.
Like in this conference room? I imagine that he's like tucked into the building's corner.
Yeah. I don't know. Sitting
Is there
somewhere.
pacing?
Yeah, there's pacing. That's yeah.
All right. Shadow Man starts like he like stops blinking and like he like his lights shut off like all at once, and then you hear like a whirring noise, and then all his lights go on like full brightness, And you
Yeah.
hear like like you hear the sounds of like things locking into place.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, he powers on, and then like his visor like snaps closed, and he like has that like one it like forms that like one red eye in front of his face, or
Yeah.
like on his face mask, and it like sweeps. It's like projected onto the front of his mask almost, and it like sweeps around it, and it is like a searchlight as he's like
Yeah.
scanning the room.
Mm.
He like sees the other two like passed out and like lingers on both of them for like a second. There's like when the searchlight like goes over them, like it projects out like a grid and like visual scans them.
Mm-hmm.
And then it gets to you, and then
Yeah.
I think it like I think like the whole mask turns red, and he like goes to stand up, like he's like kind of in a pile of rubble, like propped up against the wall.
Yeah.
He like goes to stand up, and when he goes to put his weight on his right arm, he just like tumbles.
Sure. Hey,
He stops.
trying to like think of like the exact right thing to say.
His scanner like beam is like focused on you, but
Mm-hmm.
you can feel his attention like searching through the like throughout the
Yeah.
room for like a way to get away.
I wasn't in the most calm mind state back then.
Back then, as though like
I mean, yeah,
years ago.
Just now sounds is a better thing to say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been like a couple hours.
Yeah.
I think he stands up like very slowly, and he says,
Mm-hmm.
"Where did you take me?"
Where in the city are we? I'd tell him.
Yeah. You're hiding out. You say like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we're hiding out from the
We're
from the
hiding out.
screens."
We didn't want anybody to see us or you. We didn't want any prying eyes, so we found somewhere to hole up.
There you go.
Where
That's a good reference.
where hopefully we'd be left alone.
He says, "I expected to wake up in your base somewhere."
Well, we're planning on taking you there next, so we can maybe patch you up a little bit better.
I think he looks down at his arm, and like
Yeah.
there's like some bed sheet like tied around his stub, and I think he
Yeah.
like touches a finger to it because like red is like soaking into it
Yeah.
slowly, and like on the tip of his finger is blood, and he is like staring at it with shock.
Yeah. Why did you become what you are?
He like with that I think with like his his left hand, he like reaches up like to his mask and like touches his head as if trying to recall. He says, before I got this body is a little hazy, but I know that I didn't have a choice in the matter.
Yeah. I think I know what you mean, funnily enough.
This was the best option I had. This was the only option I had. He says, like, affirming it to himself.
What's like your goal? Not like your mission that you're assigned, but do you have something that you want?
I'm just trying to stay alive.
Yeah.
As long as I follow orders, they won't do anything. And, well, I have more freedoms than most do.
Sure. Can I tell you something?
Yeah. I was gonna say, he says is, at least I get to see people.
Then I'd say
most can't even get that close. Go ahead.
Can I tell you something? Is it weird if I tell you something personal?
Yes.
Well, would you mind if I did it anyway?
Not much choice.
I think she's like gesturing to the sword. This is the most important thing to me. I've been on a long, hard journey to get here. And this is the only thing that kept me going. It gave me the courage and the power to free my old home. And when I lost it, I felt like freedom itself had been taken from me. But that's wrong. That's not true. And I want to apologize for letting you be the at the end of that. That's, you know, I don't know you, you don't know me. We're out here trying to do what's best for ourselves.
He says, none of us are free anymore. Not even us, not even the citizens. We're just cogs like the rest of them.
But you want to be.
I don't know how.
That's what we're trying to do. We know how to be free. We're just trying to get our message out to everybody else.
You'll end up dead, you know, just like all the rest.
Everybody ends up dead. What matters is what you do before that happens.
everybody's already dead.
We're talking right now, aren't we?
I think he like looks out the window at like the searchlights in the city.
Yeah.
I think there are like there are some patrols going around.
Mm-hmm.
Hard to know what they're out searching for, but
Yeah.
they seem out in force tonight, probably for the show of force tomorrow.
Yeah.
Dangerous night to be out on the street.
Mm-hmm.
There's drones in the sky, and there are like searchlights sweeping over buildings.
Yeah. If you want to be free, you can come with us. We can try to teach you how.
I think he's pondering this.
Yeah.
I think he is like he appreciates someone having, not so much that he appreciates, just that he like didn't expect anyone to have like even a speck of hope. Like he thought it was extinct.
Yeah.
And like seeing even like even the small amount you've already shown is like seeing the sun for the first time.
Right.
But I think he's still like scared.
Yeah.
And he says like, what are you planning to do?
Well,
What can we
our
even
plan
do?
is we can get people together. We already have a small team, a small community of like-minded and mavericks. And we want... Our goal is to aim for the top. But that's not immediate. Our immediate goal is to learn as much as we can and, try to take people on, try to build a group that we can take to the top and knock everything over and see if we can start again with something else.
I think he like looks out. So you're in like a tall building. You're on like the 5th floor.
Mm-hmm.
And you're in like a shorter district. So he's like looking out over the park, and he like looks northward when you say like you're aiming for the top.
Yeah.
He's looking at the Empire building. He said,
Mhm.
About a week back, someone attacked the Empire building. Is that one of yours?
I think so.
I don't want to imagine what they did with him.
Me neither. But the more of us there are, the less they can shove us down. If it was just me out there, you would have gotten the best of me. But I wasn't alone. The thing that makes us strong is, and she like looks over the boys as like the fact that we're a team.
I think he looks over at Danny.
Yeah.
Who is like still powered down.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, How did you even get him to move? That guy's been here a lot longer than even I have. Or a lot longer than any of us.
Sorry to break it to you, but no, he was stubborn to the point where he wouldn't even listen to us.
So that's his skin.
Yeah. We don't have a lot. We've been making do.
Were you there when the Empire building was attacked?
No, actually, we've been powered off for a long time.
It's a secure district, you know. They don't let anyone in and out. No humans, no cogs, nothing.
Sure.
Don't know how someone got in through that. You need permission to, and well, citizen who has domain there, older even than Knight, I hear. There wasn't a fight. All that happened is half the building went up, but it didn't come down. I heard they caught the guy who did it. Probably dismantled by now.
Do you know where they take criminals like that?
Carefully choosing the word.
It's pretty rare that that one of us acts up. I never thought they lived very long.
Sure.
Usually usually Knight deals with them, but I guess he's out of commission now.
Well, it's something else to look into.
I think the other two. Yeah, I was gonna say the other two power on.
Sure.
That was gonna be my cue, or that was gonna be your cue. Is the other two start to power on?
Okay, because I have a lot to react to in that.
Yeah. I think you were for the sake of storytelling. I think you when you power on, you get fed a data stream of everything that happened while you were passed out. You're still recording, you're just not conscious. So as you're booting up, you get recapped, you get caught up.
That's cool.
So you can wake up and you can say something in response.
So you're saying Knight's the strongest?
Is that the first thing you say when you wake up?
Yep.
Jamie?
Whoa.
Let's see. What's the strongest? He was the strongest man I knew, but he still had things that he feared.
Wouldn't want to think about those.
Yeah, it seemed like what he feared was the imagination of hope. He was held down. Pretty profoundly held down. Listen. I think you need to know that the world is bigger and stranger than you've ever been led to believe. The guy that attacked the Empire State Building is probably the guy we've been looking for, the guy who built us.
Yeah.
The relationship between the two of them is a little complicated, but the simplest way to boil it down is that Dr. Light has a brother, and that was him. He built us, and made us the way that we are, kinda.
He had a team too.
Yeah. And how's your arm? We patched you up the best we could.
I think he looks down at it and he says, "It hurts." That's weird.
Well, yeah, wait, is that not normal for you?
Yeah. I haven't felt anything in a long time.
I wanna try something.
I think he like takes his hand that he still has and he just like scratches it into the wall to be like, and then as if like, yeah, he doesn't feel it. He has claws, not hands. Go ahead.
Do we have? Is there a way I could like show this guy, like old pictures of when, of like before all this happened?
That sounds like a you're trying to. So how do you want to go about it? What's your method? So like you don't have physical pictures, like you don't have your Polaroids.
Yeah, I don't have my Polaroids. I was kind of hoping for like a data transfer, right?
I mean, yeah, to me this sounds like a classic connection roll. I send you information. A classic transmit.
That's risky because anything that you transmit is going to be intercepted.
Yeah,
potentially, yeah.
Can I make a suggestion?
Please do.
You are in a conference room with a projector.
Yes. Okay. This is good. This is good.
It's a slideshow projector.
Yes.
Excellent.
I'm prompting him for this. I don't know if this will work. I'm like, hey, can I show you something? And I try to take the wheel of this projector.
All right. Yeah. So you gotta show him like, yeah. Describe the things that you're going to show them as you show them, but first, just roll. Take the wheel. Take advantage because you used to take pictures.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Danny, dice cog, please. I beg. How do you do advantage again? You do 1d20 and then ADV.
Yeah, 1d20 plus whatever your connection is, space ADV. I think it's that. Yeah,
Nice.
That's a 26.
Let's go.
That's
Nice.
Let's go.
About time you get a good roll.
Guys, dice cog is fair to all. Okay.
On a long enough timeline, the dice cog will be fair to all.
Yeah.
just by pure statistics, I guess.
You just have to live that long.
Yeah, we're already here at the end of the timeline. Come on.
Yeah.
We're at the end of the line. It's got to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What this guy wants is hope. So I don't think I'm not gonna show him anything from like command X. I'll just show him stuff from command line. Like he'll be like stuff, like memorabilia of New York, and I want to show him like times of us like goofing off and like having fun.
Okay.
I think that will capture like the essence of like
Mhm.
like this is hope. This is what the world could be.
Yeah.
This is this is after you don't have the man holding you down like this intensely.
Mm-hmm.
Blue skies and green trees.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, episode 5, you guys took a camping trip.
Yeah.
I think
Sure.
like, you blew up a factory on your camping trip.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to know about that part yet.
I was gonna say, they're just like, oh yeah, from the night before when you were hiking out there, you had to like make camp when you were still on like the normal trail. I imagine there's like a very, very good, like this is like the last photo you show, where
Like
it's like a selfie with you all three around a campfire, and like you're and it's like there's multiple pictures from that trip, and like only forest this guy has ever seen is one where all the trees are hard as concrete and hard and gray as concrete.
What's everybody doing in that picture?
Your choice. Your character.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm asking.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. You're prompting everyone else. For the record, Alvis is not in the picture.
Right.
Because this would be an early one, I gotta be like doing one of these with my lapel, the lapel of my denim vest,
Yeah.
with one of those like, yeah, type smiles.
I'm showing off like a
It's like a it's like a timered photo, so you could be in the shot.
Yeah.
You just point it back towards yourself.
That was really rare before digital cameras.
I guess so. It's hard to know if you're getting yourself properly or not.
Not that it didn't happen, but like,
Yeah.
It's a skill we're born with now because evolution.
Yeah. It's been bred into
no,
us.
Lamarck was wrong.
What is Danny showing off?
Danny is showing off like I'm trying to find the exact term for it, but like he's showing off like a weird food he likes to make when he goes camping.
Okay.
Not like a big pot of food.
Yeah, like we have like it's like in a can, like a tin can.
I think Sheila's probably like looking up from a topo map or something, and like blank face, just like giving a thumbs up. Like sitting on a log in the background. Yeah, blank face looking up from something she was doing. Yeah.
You said before like seeing the sun for the first time. I want like a nice like sunrise picture in there too.
I think when you start showing this, I think his like face shield parts. He's got like he has like a facial scar that like goes from the like inside of one of his eyebrows to like kind of the corner of his the other corner of his mouth, like across his nose. Yeah, like that. Direction left or right doesn't really matter. But it's just like a cut across the face. Yeah, I think he stares at the photo for a real long time, and like if it lingers on the last one, which is the like group photo, I think he says to you all, what is it like to remember where you came from?
Okay. I don't even know if this makes sense to you anymore, but if you're constantly surrounded by something, a smell, you get used to it. And we are not, the memory is what keeps us from getting used to it. This is not normal. And if you remember the world before the fall, you know the stakes. You can feel it always. And the responsibility that we need to fix it. And if it was that way, it can be that way again.
I think he like slow nods, slow and like very like small nod as you're saying all this. And when you're done, his like face shield like snaps closed, and he says, "All right, what do we have to do?"
Yeah.
The cog who runs the tower. We were given a serial number, but not much more than that. What can you tell us? It was AL001, right?
Yeah.
That's and then saying that out loud, I'm like, wait a minute. AL. That's weird. Why would it be AL?
Maybe if it was made before the split.
Who would that even be? I mean, I can only think of two candidates, and one of them is in the TV screens. So it's got to be Emily, right?
I was gonna say, yeah, I think it's Maki.
She's only Maki when she's not Emily, I thought.
I guess we did put her back in, yeah.
Hmm.
Well,
Shadow.
Yeah.
Shade. Can I call you Shade?
Oh yeah, we didn't ask him his name.
I think he would like he would like start to say but then like stop himself, and then he just says Shadow Man. He would start to say his number but not.
Yeah. All right. Shadow Man.
I think he takes his like his like good arm, and he like reaches up to where he has like the serial number, and then he just like scratches it off.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then I think he says to you lot, who's got the gun? It'd be Sheila, right? Who's got he says to you, you know, if you hold on to that, Search is gonna try to find you.
Oh. Okay. Is there some sort of tracker in it?
No, but he's, believe it or not, he's better at finding things than I am.
Huh. Well, when you got two heads.
Huh.
I think that's the
Perhaps being...
he says.
Well. Is he like you, or is he too far gone?
He's long gone. He's not. He's rogue, just like you guys are. Well, not like that, but
Sure.
There's rogues and there's mavericks.
He's not fighting for anything other than himself.
He's hollow.
Supposedly, he's wanted, but we've never bothered to. No one's ever bothered to hunt him down. He just crops up every once in a while.
Selective enforcement because the system's working as intended. Okay.
To be honest with you, it's a pretty nice piece of equipment. Like, I can see why he'd want to get it back, but
I pick up the cloak and I hand it back to him. Like, here, we weren't sure how you were gonna be. Here.
Yeah, I think he like puts it on and then like flips the hood up.
Listen, we brought back with us one of the oldest cogs there is. Maybe even the first one. He didn't really say. But
he's a prototype model.
He didn't have a... After a series of shenanigans, he didn't have a body, and so now he's in the network. And he's in the whole network. Such that a cog body isn't going to hold him anymore. And he is probably a really bad guy. But he believes that we're going to help him. Give him your body.
We are not going to do that.
We are not going to do that.
Specifically, he just wanted a body.
Yeah.
Yeah. He needs a body. And it would be to everybody's advantage if he couldn't kick ass.
Yeah.
I like this resolve. I'm like...
But it can't really be a destroyed body either.
Yeah. He has information that we need, that we want to get out of him.
But he's not the only game in town.
Correct.
It's just if we have to pretend that like we're the best option for him to be helped, so that he doesn't go to Dr. Light about it, because Dr. Light could just build him a body.
Yeah. Hey, speaking about not being the only game in town.
Yeah, I was gonna say that like when you say Dr. Light, he like winces at the name.
Hey, Danny, speaking about not being the only game in town, we should check in with those thugs you swindled sometime. See if they heard anything back.
Oh. Well, you're still connected to the projector. Pull up Alvis. Shadow Man. Is this the guy who attacked the building?
Ooh.
Was Shadow Man there? I don't think Shadow Man was like there, but he like saw it happen from afar. So he says like yeah, he says like you show him a picture of what is the picture of Alvis that you have, by the way? Like what's going on in the photo?
I think this is like just after class.
Yeah, like what's he doing? You know.
Sorry, not after class, just after like a briefing.
He's like holding the gnome book.
Yeah, he's holding the gnome book.
Yeah, go ahead and just get that in shot for me. Yeah.
Yeah, let's fucking go.
It was in reach.
Gnome
like,
book and fucking command
this.
hearts.
Don't read that.
So good. Gnomes. On my screen, you're the only one who's pointing the right way is Starbuck.
Which way do I need to point?
Up.
This way?
And then Ricardo needs to point up into your left.
Like this?
Up into your left. There you go. Now you're all pointing.
Yeah,
It's so
It just
different
orders
for
them
everybody.
differently for everyone, I guess.
It's
apparently.
it's depending on the order in which you load.
Okay.
Simon should be last for everyone except Simon.
Right, so I'm in the bottom right corner.
Yes.
You're in my bottom
Okay.
left corner.
Oh.
Oh.
Anyway. So yeah, he gets a picture of Alice. And you don't recognize him at all from anywhere?
He says, I wasn't at Empire Building when it happened, but he would recognize this guy as like he is like wanted amongst citizens, or like he's been wanted amongst citizens for like decades.
Yeah. Right.
But he had never been found.
Right.
He figured he was long dead by now. Or
Can you
I'll just have him say that in character. I'll have him say that in character. He says like, this guy's been wanted for as long as I've been a citizen. He's been like, his existence itself is secret. He's supposedly the leader of all resistance in the city. But
Leader might be a little strong. You have to lead to be a leader, but
you have to be present to be a leader.
He was underground. He was outside the city building us.
Yeah, I wonder if that's what the city was looking for. You're saying he's here now?
Yes,
he left a little. He left where we came from a little bit before we powered on.
He's looking for. Danny, do you think you could pull up Emily? He's looking for a woman who has a complicated relationship with her. They're very close.
Yeah, it's like a.
Freud would have a fucking field day.
Ah, fuck it.
He doesn't.
He never knows.
He doesn't know what that means.
Yeah, sorry, you don't know. Sorry. I'm in a nostalgic mood.
Did you take a picture when
do you have a picture
Emily
of
was
Emily?
a spirit in the train, like just coming out of the train car?
I think I don't know. I don't know if I
to.
have good pictures. Yeah, I don't think I have good pictures.
I mean, you
of
have
him.
your memories, though.
Yeah,
Why does it need
can I? Yeah, that's true. Emily.
Okay, well, what memory of Emily? Which is
When
very
Danny
fun alliteration.
when Danny thinks of Emily, what's the moment that he pictures?
Is it
when
I feel like I should make you roll to not show Emilius.
Yo.
No. I'm not gonna show Emilius. The moment I'm thinking of is when Jack whooped us to where Emily was in the garage, I guess.
Yeah.
And like that was like the first time we met her.
Okay, so basically what was described, where it's her like being pulled out of floating out of the train car, the artificial train car. Okay. Let me think. Yeah, I think he like looks at it and says, I don't know, and he like he like touches the like wall where she's being projected, and he like idly like traces something on the wall. He like traces where wings would be if it was a picture of Emilius. Like subconsciously.
Interesting. Do we want to on-screen Emilius?
I think that would just be a jump scare for this guy.
Yeah,
I think
showing
Sheila would
people-
say, okay, here's if we want to rationalize it, I think Sheila would say, she's who I got this from, and like gestures out with the blade a little bit.
Yeah, I think he like pulls away from the image, and he's like,
Yeah.
and he just says, "I understand."
Yeah.
I kind of stole it from her first, and then she stole it back, and then she gave it to me. It's funny.
A lot of that going
Yeah.
around. uh,
Yeah.
I think he says, "All right, I'll resume my my usual patterns so as not to draw your suspicion. But when you need if you need my help, call on me and I'll drop
Actually,
the act."
I think you should... There's a place that you can go. We need to get you to this machine shop because we know somebody who can fix the cloak for you. And besides that, we need to have a conversation down there anyway. And then I like give him an address and I'm like, okay, we would probably be going in at the surface level. There's other ways around. Knock like this, and then I do shave and a haircut.
Mm-hmm.
I would love the idea where he's like, yeah, what's that from? And I'm like, I have no idea.
Just, I don't know, man. We forgot that.
Most people have never known where that comes from.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you want him to go there to get his cloak fixed?
We want him to meet us there
Oh, okay.
because we need, like, it is necessary to show Joe and the machinist what it, like, part of what we're actually trying to do. Because, like,
Yeah,
Wait.
do we... I don't think we actually want to split up from him. I don't know. Is that like obviously, Roma, you have narrative machinations going on.
I was just gonna say,
But-
like, I don't know if you need to like introduce him to Joe. Really?
well, I want to do the chest pull thing. Like, it would be convenient to do the chest pull thing all together.
Yeah, I think
Chest?
I think that's gonna work just fine with just Joe. I don't feel the need to like have an extra guy in the scene. That feels like
Okay.
just added
Okay,
reaction shots, you know.
gotcha.
Sure.
All right. In which case, then I'm just gonna say to Shadow Man, like, look, all right, our near term goal is to get into that tower because whoever runs the tower can put something on all the screens for us, and we need to get a message out to the citizens as well as to the people, like all the rest of the people, that like we need to get them to question things. And like when I said that the world is bigger and stranger than you were led to believe, and I like open my chest and I pull my engine out, and then I like all the color drains out. I'm like, this is the kind of thing that I mean.
Mm-hmm. I don't want you to save that punch for Joe. I think that has more punch for Joe. This guy already knows that you're really cool.
Yeah, he knows that we're really cool, but there's no reason that he would. All the citizens believe correctly that if you pull the engine out, they die.
Hmm.
If if I show you that there are some cases where that's not true, that is a pretty fundamental thing to question.
Okay, okay.
Like, we need to let I pull it out. We need to let everybody know that there are things you take for granted that are just not true.
Okay, so what do you want him to do? Because you say you need to get to AL001.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was an explicit prompt. I think it's just
Yeah.
like, hey man.
Okay.
We're gonna come back at you with a plan. Do you know the layout of the place? Do you know a way in? And like, can you get us anything?
Oh, Empire to the building, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Either that or where they took Alvis, because I mean it could go either way.
Okay, so
Both are good.
For where they would have taken the guy who bombed, he says, as for whoever bombed Empire Building, I don't know, but if he's being dismantled, that'll probably be in the foundry. That's the giant skull-shaped factory that's on the front of the spider.
Mm-hmm.
The one we accidentally hit.
Accidentally hit?
Yeah. I accidentally hit or like sent some shots flying that way when we climbed up the leg initially.
With
No.
the artillery on the leg.
Yeah.
No, that was just at like factories that are on the bottom. There's one that's all the way on like the front of the island that's like a head, or like, it's a skull shape. It's a skull shaped building. Because I don't know if you've heard about this. The Command Heart's kind of based on this game called Mega Man 2. Dr. Whiteley. Emilius means rival, and Wiley.
Indeed.
So funny. I'm hilarious. Anyways.
That old man sure was a wily coyote.
Yeah.
Does this guy have information for us?
He would say that any like plans as to what the inside of the building looks like, the building got reconstructed in that last week, and no one's been in or out since. He says that there are like those checkpoints. There are checkpoints. There's basically a ring checkpoint all the way around it. Like, it is a district in it of itself. It has like those have like high walls, and on like the nearby buildings outside the district have like the fucking anti-air guns that were on the leg that you climbed up.
All right. Serious question. If we took out the power for a while, would that help?
He says that wouldn't affect citizens too much. They would be able to get orders from the network, but the cogs can't operate without the network. They would stop receiving orders, at least until the power came back on. That could give you a little while.
Sounds like Joe had the right idea.
All right.
They could rebuild it, almost as fast as you tear it down. But if you can keep the place leveled for a while, it'd buy you more time.
Okay.
That's to say, like, if you blow a building up, it'll be like rebuilt in like a day.
Yeah.
It'll be rebuilt like literally overnight. But you know,
We will build cities in a day.
yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now well, that would be a good opportunity. Like knocking out the power it would create that good opportunity for getting us into that tower to the heavens.
Yeah.
There you go.
We got there.
Someone's drawing the line. Someone's drawing the line. All right. I think you guys like split off.
Wait. Does he like go to like jump out the window? Sorry, I'm about to do the coolest thing ever. Sorry.
Oh,
he goes like,
okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Does he like go to leave out the window or something cool?
Sure, I'll hear. So that you can have your full moment before he does that. He he goes to do that, he says, "Well," and then he transmits to you a phone number, and he says, "Call me if you need anything."
Yo, play the jingle.
He goes to hop out the window, and then you can do your bit.
Yeah. Then I say, "Hold on, I have one last thing." I brought it up, so it only seems right. Promise me you'll take good care of it. And I hold out the sword to him. You'll need someone to protect yourself out there when you're fighting for freedom.
All right. You hand him. Nah, you don't hand him the sword. It appears in his hand.
Can I make a request?
It appears in a... Okay, so you have a request, but I have something.
Yeah, what's your thing?
It appears in a ghost hand where you ripped it off.
Whoa!
Yeah.
It's okay. It looks like looks like a hologram, and it just like floats there.
Now, is that hologram all shimmering gold? Because it's full of connection now?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a connection hand with a fire sword.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's you acquiring a phone number.
Yeah.
I also just played.
Y'all hit that?
Yes.
What? How?
Did you actually play the fucking Heart Gold Soul Silver? Amazing.
That was the communicator from Kim Possible. I
the little pager.
How was that hit? I don't know.
Well, cool. That fucks. Stay safe out there. Shall I read my new catalyst?
Oh yeah. Welcome back from break. Time for a new catalyst.
Welcome back. Tell me, and obviously we can workshop this if you think it's too much or not right. But my new catalyst is break every chain, bridge every gap, be the change you want to see.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is power in the name of Jesus.
Whoa.
That's our song, by the way. Just saying.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We talked about religious music earlier on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Break every chain is part of our gospel song. Just saying. Yeah.
I see.
Ford every mountain. Climb every mountain, ford every stream, something, sound of music. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
You got a new phone number.
We got a new phone number.
Time
We
to
ought to
head back to base.
We ought to head back to base. Yeah.
All right.
Probably check in on the way out.
We cut in back on when you are like entering base from your like underground entrance.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. That's for us. Joe, be cool.
Oh, okay. You're reorientating me. That was you going in. I was just doing the knock for you.
Ah,
That wasn't prompted.
okay.
But sure.
I thought he wasn't going to show up here. What?
Yeah, no, he's
I
not
thought
going
we
to show up
decided-
here. He's not going to show up
Right,
here.
right. I got turned around in the break. Listen, I had some olives. It's the whole thing.
Powerful
Olives.
stuff.
Yeah, let's just knock and come in. Let's just have that be what we're doing.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
knock
That's a
and
little more
come in.
simple.
You know, that way we get the hey Sheila, you're like fucked up a little bit. You have like a hole punched in like your chest area through your armor.
Yep, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you don't think you could do a little patch-up job for me real quick, could you?
Yeah, let's see. Who's out here? I think you get let in. Yeah, you would get let in by by like a lock, like a mechanical
Okay.
remote lock. That the machinist like flips with a lever. So you like come in. I think Joe is like. I think he is like working. He's like putting the finishing touches on some like shortwave radio,
Mhm.
so that you can transmit to him. He needs a walkie-talkie.
Right.
That's what he's doing. He's building himself
Yeah.
a walkie-talkie such that you can communicate with him. Yeah, you roll in. What? Oh yeah, the machinist. I think the only part you left them with was the shield, right? That's the only thing they have.
Yeah,
left.
the shield was the last part that they have. That. Yeah.
Okay. It's been like a day. I think before I said that they had figured out that they could fix it. Did I say that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I think in the night that you have been gone, because it's like now, quote unquote, morning, curfew is like letting out. I think when you leave the building that you hid out in, curfew is let out. Today is the day of the show of force. So there's a lot of people out in the streets. They're moving towards the north part of the city. A lot of people are attending. You get $2,000 just for showing up. That's what they're saying out. That's what they're advertising out on the telescreens, at least. This is one of the ways that people make money in this world when they don't have a job, is that they attend executions.
Wild.
Wow.
Yeah. That's one of the ways that people earn money.
So,
Okay.
You
You get paid to attend executions.
What a way to keep people compliant.
Yeah.
You're not going to start a riot at an execution if you're paid to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, you have dropped down into your little safe house, the machinist workshop. The machinist, I think, spots you, Sheila, and your damage, and says, "Looking a little worse for wear."
Yeah, I was hoping I could maybe commission you to patch me up a little bit.
Well, from the way your friend's been talking, it seems like you'll be headed out of here soon. I don't know how much time I have.
Well,
We're gonna need every chance that we got. We're about to go hit the power station.
Yeah.
Here's what I'll say.
Mhm.
I will say they can make one quick repair. This is your dual option.
Okay.
You can get a quick repair to Sheila's armor. I'll let you roll a d12. You can heal whatever you roll.
Okay.
Or you can have them fix that chameleon cloak.
I kind of just want the heal. I don't know. What do we think, boys?
That cloak. How much health do you have right now?
6 out of 18.
6 out of 18 is pretty bad.
Yes. Oh, Rome, I meant to petition for a connection boost for my heartfelt conversation I had earlier. I'm gonna pull a Tarbuck and undercut the emotional moment with curmudgeonly Munchkin rulesing.
Hmm.
That was real big. That's a big thing.
Take advantage whenever you next use your catalyst.
Okay, so next time I use a catalyst, it's just a double confirm.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have double advantage next time you use your catalyst.
Okay.
I feel like that's basically the same and actually more useful.
Yes.
You're
written on.
You can think of it as you're really in the catalytic mood.
Correct. What do we think? We can either have someone be invisible, which how much power does that cost to run again? Let me look.
Yeah, that's in the system, and it requires 1 power.
Yeah, I remember it being pretty cheap.
It's
Yeah,
1 power,
I mean,
and it is avoid detection from docile machines. Enemies attacking you at range have disadvantage.
yeah. I couldn't use that at the moment. Someone else obviously could, if you have the power.
I say we leave it here, actually.
Yeah, leave it here for now and have me get patched up now.
That seems like the move.
Okay. Does the
I
shield
can't-
fix, by the way? Is that what...
We're doing you first.
Okay. It would be cool to have the cloak fixed. I really don't want to become broken.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you want to be woken, not broken.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, Sheila, you are submitted for a quick repair. If you guys were here,
Okay.
if you guys were here for longer, you could roll 2d12, but that's what you rolled last time. But quick repair, you only got a few hours to do what you're gonna do. So roll 1d12, and then we'll scene out with Joe what you're doing. Oh, you're rolling in person? Okay. The big 10.
It's a 10.
That's a 10. That's clean.
Beautiful. That's that physical dice luck, baby.
Yeah, that's a good 16 health on you now.
Yep. All I have to do is add a 1 in front of that 6. That's great.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Great.
While you're being repaired, you guys can talk to Joe about what your next plan is. What is your plan?
Okay. We need to hit the power station. It would make him softer, at least, and we're going for the tower.
He stands up from his spot, having he finishes tightening like a final screw, and then he slams his screwdriver down, and he stands up in one motion. He's like, "All right," and he says, "Oh, here, test this for me real quick." And he switches on his walkie-talkie. It's like a classic black walkie-talkie, assembled out of an old corded phone handle and a car radio and then like an extendable antenna that's like 3 feet long. And then he dials your number.
Yeah.
Caller ID, you get his number, you know.
Mm-hmm. All right. Click.
All right. You've acquired Joe's number.
Nice.
I love the you get a phone number jingle.
It's so good. It's so good. I'm glad you love it as much as I do.
I still don't know how you hear it. How you hearing it?
You guys been getting a lot of phone numbers recently.
Yeah.
You've got home base. You've got home base, Shadow Man, Joe,
Han.
Tayumi. Is that it? No.
Yes.
Did you get those goons? Did you get their phone number?
They didn't give us a phone number.
They did not give you a phone number, unfortunately.
Yeah, no.
I thought there was one more. Oh well, you got 2 this episode.
Yeah.
Do we want to shut down the power station before the show force?
Yes.
Oh. Yeah, that seems like an immediate thing. There's a lot of people
Yeah.
out in the city.
Yeah.
Or can we not get to it first, and we might have to do like I don't know. Do we want at all to tackle the show of force? I mean, it seems like a bad idea to tackle it head on, but like if we could do the power station before, that might hinder.
If we hit the power station and then hit the show of force immediately in front of a giant crowd, that would be pretty politically advantageous to us.
Mm-hmm.
Joe says the power station is on the underside of the city, and it's directly below the Coliseum. It's on the north side of the island.
Okay. So it'd be pretty convenient.
We'll be in the area then.
We can take the train straight there. You can find an opening into a factory floor, and from there, you can get out into get out into the energy district. What I'll say to you is that you have like 3 places that you could go immediately following. You have you can go to the laboratory factory, the like Big Skull. You go to Skull Town.
Yeah.
You can go to Show of Force, which is like up on the surface, or you could make a beeline for the still relatively close like Empire building, but power won't be off for that long. Might only have time
You
to
said
hit one.
like a day? Okay.
Well, it's like a day to take something big down.
Okay.
Like a work day to bring that building back. We would have to hit it twice, I think, in order for
Depends
order
on
to
like
cover the
how
space.
much you like level it. Like if it's like a giant like series of nuclear reactors, and you cause them all to go simultaneously like nuclear, it'd probably take about a day to fix. But if you if you just like destroy like turbines, like that'll get fixed in a few hours.
We do have 2 weapons titled Wrecking Fists. That's what I'll say. That's a point in favor in our ability to do some serious fucking damage.
Just got a satchel of bombs.
Sure.
Seems like he's good at making those.
studied.
Joe is self-made.
Yeah.
He says, "Well, you guys hit the energy district. Maybe I can try to get somewhere else. At least scout it out for you."
Think you'll be okay on your own out there?
I made it this long.
Yeah.
Your plan was to get arrested to try to find us.
And it worked.
And it worked.
It did work. That's true.
You think, play a talk. You think we send Joe to the the district where those thugs, as Simon put it, like re-up on info?
Well, what we've learned is that those thugs are never going to find Elvis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I feel like the Foundry is going to be too spicy. I feel like the Foundry is going to be spicier than the Tower.
I think it might be best if he's at the show of force, though, as just like a guy. You know? Because if he's just a guy, he can... A, that's where he's safest, and B, that's where, you know, he can maybe get the most work done, because he would be the most in place.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell him about Shadow Man?
We need to tell him about Shadow
Oh,
Man.
yeah. He says, like, oh, you can send me somewhere, and we were like, okay, we have another operative.
We just changed the mind.
I'm just gonna have this be engaged in dialogue. Joe says to you guys, while you guys are hidden the power plant, where do you want me put? While the cameras are down, I could plant these somewhere.
We just turned another Maverick, so maybe you could, maybe the two of you could. I don't know what other spots are especially vulnerable. The plan is to do the power station, show of force, tower. We're gonna need a way to punch our way into the tower, especially if we don't buy that much time with the power station.
Do you want us to go in? Go in ahead of you?
It feels like it might be risky. They're a stealth specialist, but even then...
I mean, it's a revolution. Everything is risky.
Sure.
Being invisible is pretty handy, though.
That's true.
Does he react like we're addressing this as though it's like a background detail that he's that we're filling him in on by mentioning it as something to be taken for granted? Does he react to that?
I think he would just say like, I was planning on him saying like before you leave, like, hey, can I trust this guy? You know, something to that effect.
Okay, we'll get there.
You guys are rebel leaders. You get to make some decisions about where to go.
Okay. So yeah, do we want them to break into the tower sort of as we're approaching to give us a way in?
Do you know anything about the tower? Like, so far, nobody that we've talked to knows much other than that nobody's allowed to be there. We're trying to think about other citizens who are around that you might run into, just so that we have some idea of what the landscape is going to be like, you know?
What he would say is, all I know is it's a citizens only district. They don't let denizens in. Denizens have never been allowed in or out. But after it went up a week ago, the place has been quiet. It got rebuilt that night. Since then, well, I had my nose buried in building.
Sure.
But nothing happened. Or nothing new as far as I know.
Okay. We think that there's someone at the top of the tower who's a citizen that we know from before all of this. We're trying to reach her and see what state she's in, and if she is reasonable, if she's like able to talk or what. Because we've changed her mind before.
Do you think she'd talk to me? Do you think she'd listen to me?
I don't know that you know. I don't know. It was 100 years ago or something. It's hard to keep track of time.
Right. He says, not understanding that, but sure. He doesn't have ears.
Maybe there's something we could...
I like to imagine that you say 100 years ago, and he imagines that as being like what we would call a few months ago.
Yeah. I might actually follow that with about 5 times your age.
I don't think they have age.
Is that bad?
Oh, wow.
They don't have calendars.
But he knows how long he's been alive for.
Imagine if the sun doesn't exist and you don't have calendars.
Yeah,
but you were still like a kid once, and you're not anymore.
No, okay. So I've heard accounts like firsthand accounts from people who didn't have either language or internal monologue or something like that, and then acquired it when they were like in their 40s.
Yeah.
And what they report is that all of the time up until that time was basically a blur. That there was no such thing as a passage of time. There are just floating facts that are known but not articulated.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
That's so hard to think about.
Yeah. People can be more different than you think.
Yeah.
I'm glad I said this. I took it for granted as obvious. I'm like, there's no sky. There's no days of the week. No one says like Saturday. No like citizen or denizen has said like a day of the week. They don't exist anymore.
Dude, they don't got Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah, if you said Saturday to someone here, they would look at you like, I don't know what that is.
What? Yeah.
I guess they just don't keep track of time at all.
They have
clocks. They've got hours.
They have hours.
A clock, yeah.
Only for work, by the way. Only because of work.
They don't have that, actually.
Yeah.
So I say to this guy who asked, will they talk to me? I'll say, your best bet is if you tell them that Jack, Danny, and Sheila sent you. If she was going to respond to anything, she'd respond to that.
Will she know what to do? This doesn't sound like much to go on.
Listen, if it was us there, we would be making it up, same as you are gonna have to, unfortunately. But it's gonna depend on how far you can get.
Maybe we want him at the show of force. I'm thinking about it. Because what if we just go straight to the building?
Because the thing that I think is the most helpful with that is be ready to like we'll meet in the middle. If you're already in the building and then the lights come back on and then we radio, you can set off a bunch of bombs and we can meet, blast a path and we meet in the middle and we all head up together. That would get us in the building at least.
What?
That place, there's also a possibility that place is lousy with citizens, and you're a pretty capable guy. You can probably take out one or two, but
he says, I'd need a bigger gun.
Yeah.
I'd lend you this one, but I think it kind of puts a target on your back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. A two-headed guy wants it. I like the occasional of just over assuming what Joe is even capable of.
Speaking of which, can I feel any attention on me at the moment?
This not oldie but goodie.
Roll connection.
I did this last time, if you recall.
Yeah.
$14.
You feel a subtle sense of paranoia.
Yeah.
When you think about the gun as it's laid up against a wall next to you while you're being welded shut again.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And we should probably split soon before he sniffs us out here.
Yeah.
As much as we love to sit and plan.
Yeah. The other option is that you come with us and you're on hand for the show of force, because they're immediately going to know that we're what we are. But seeing somebody who is visibly just like a flesh and blood human helping out altogether, more people need to know what is possible, that you can stand up at all. They need to be able to imagine it.
I could head for the show of force, and I could set. I could try to set what I can so that when the power goes out, I could try to set what charges I can, and maybe we can get everyone who's trapped there out.
That's it. That'll be what we do. Because if you're already there, then we can time it around the lights coming down. That would be if it happens that fast, there's no way they can respond to it.
Good old-fashioned prison break.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Was there only time for healing for one person?
Yes.
Okay.
How about you?
I'm only down 2. I'm gonna be okay.
Okay.
I'm down half, but half is 13.
Nice.
Very nice.
You were more damage than Sheila was.
Yeah.
That's because I was never up to full.
Yeah.
I've never been up to full since the first time we were made.
Because I want to get it in the scene, like while Sheila is being still patched up, I'm just gonna like open the chest and pop the engine out and lay it on the table, and I'm like, I don't know what kind of time you got, and like, I as a player am expecting Joe to have some kind of reaction to I pull my engine out and continue talking, but I'm just like, the machinist has seen us do this before.
Yeah, the
and
machinist
doesn't
has
know any
seen
different.
this and was just like, oh, like the first time you did it for the machinist, they were like, oh, sure, I'll work on that.
Yeah.
Or well, like, they asked for an engine and then you pulled one out and gave it to them, and they were like,
Yeah.
oh, I guess you can have that one over there.
Yeah. So I lay my engine on an unoccupied spot in the workbench, and I'm like, I don't know if you have any. I don't know if we have the time for you to look at this, but I mean, anything you can do for me.
Yeah, I think the machinist is like, oh, like still a little uncomfortable from like you being able to do that and still talk. They're like, I don't know how that works. That's weird. But they go,
That's unusual.
They go,
I leave the chest plate open, so there's a big gap.
No, like I imagine that you could look straight through you. Like your ribs are like so open that they are like flared out. Imagine that they're just like, oh, yeah, sure, I'll give it a look. I'll give it a wrench. And then I think Joe like is like walking around the table like Joe's face of shock is like framed through your open ribs. As he like walks around the table like, how are you doing that?
Would you believe me if I said our souls are more magical than yours?
More?
Yeah, we were
I think
just
that's how it works.
yeah.
Magic.
We are just people.
The thing that I will say to you, this is a DM note. More?
Okay.
No.
I think what I perceived it as is that Sheila was trying to gesture to the fact that we are trained and we know what to do.
Yes.
It's like, I mean, if you went through what we went through, you'd probably be able to do it too.
Yeah, but I don't want it to be misconstruable as like oh well, you know, we're just like different.
We're more in tune with it.
I think it's important to say that it's more that you're more specifically you are citizens with will of your own, so you can stand without an engine. That's the exact wording I would use.
Okay.
You have a will of your own that drives you just as much as your engine does.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to say that to Joe, go ahead.
But you already said it.
Sure, fine.
Well, okay. Have Janai say it, because Janai would reasonably say it that way.
Anyone can say it. I just don't want to have to say something, say a line, imply that one of you said it, and then respond to it as if one of you said it, but no one in particular.
Okay.
And feel free to give it I mean, you know, you can give it a spin. I just wanted to be like, hey, you guys don't have like special magic hyper souls compared to everyone else. Like everyone just has, you're just like soul. You just have a soul. Like that's not particularly unique.
Okay. I'll do a read.
Citizens have weak souls. Sorry, go ahead.
We have something that keeps us going besides power?
There you
Something
go.
we're trying to give back to the rest of them.
I take my fingers and I stick them through Jack's ribs and then I like clasp them like this and then do this.
The will and the spirit is what drives a person, regardless of the shape they're in.
Damn right. He says like to himself.
I think Shield's laughing at what Danny's doing right now.
This is just another example of how much stranger the world really is, and how you've been lied to.
Mm-hmm.
Good to hear you guys still have a few surprises.
Yeah. Let's hear about the magic book.
I got more in here if if we got some time.
Speaking of, is there a book page for Emily?
All right. So you're asking.
I'm consulting the book.
Yeah, you wish to know. Who? What is the biggest danger to Emily? What? Give me their full name, please. Give me the full name of the person you're asking for.
Emily Imelius Maki.
That's not. I don't know if that works. I don't know if that's correct.
Yeah, no, you're gonna have to get rid of that Amelius.
Emily Maki. I was doing Emily.
Well, hold
first
on.
name Emily, middle name Imelius, Maki last name.
Well, remember that our Emily and Maki are different. That might not get you the answer you want.
Maki was the name of the public-facing official.
Right.
She told us her last name, didn't she? I know, like, the player, have learned what it is in the past, just because it's in the liner notes of the album. Lol. I'm trying to.
Roma, am I the crazy one?
What?
Is her name not Emily Light?
Yeah, that's her name.
Yeah, like where?
Okay.
Anyway,
Fine, be that way. I was gonna. I didn't know if like some with time, you know. Okay.
am I taking crazy pills over here?
I'm taking crazy pills.
Crazy pills over here.
All right, you ask who the biggest danger is to, or like what the biggest danger to Emily Light is.
I do indeed. I consult the book.
You get a single word response. Freedom.
Oh.
Whoa.
The biggest threat or danger to her is freedom.
I immediately slip my fingers out of Jack and I like kneel. I'm like, I'm hoping this prompts a response.
Yeah, Danny is currently sitting.
I like look down through my chest. I'm like, what? What happened?
The book said the biggest danger to Emily is freedom.
I don't even know what to do with that.
Joe says, if freedom's too dangerous to live, then dying for it's worth it.
She's rolled those dice before.
Yeah.
I spring back up. maybe it's like Rapunzel. Rapunzel is technically safest in Hatawa, but like that doesn't mean
It doesn't mean it's bad.
Yeah.
Do a check for me. What's the biggest danger to AL001?
I wonder if that works if we don't know a name.
The biggest danger to AL001 is Emily Light.
Whoa.
Oh.
What the fuck? I don't know how to interpret this information. But it is crazy.
Did she get disconnected again?
I mean, it's possible.
They did it the first time.
Yeah.
I don't see why not.
Will she respond well to being freed?
What's the biggest danger to Alvis Light?
The Alvis Light?
Oh, yeah, to Dr. Alvis. We gotta refine that.
I was gonna say, like, I don't think you're asking what you think you're asking.
Yeah.
What if it's like the biggest? What if we ask it what the biggest threat to Doctor Light is? Watch it just say us.
That'd be pretty kick ass.
Dr. Alvis.
Okay, Dr. Alvis. I think that gets a, forgive me for being corny, but that gets a himself.
Yeah.
Real. That's real is what it is.
That works on many levels. They said they caught the guy. But they
Wait.
could have just lied.
Wait, hold on. Dr. Light. Does not compute.
No. I had an answer for this, but I was just like, okay, I thought we moved past it for the moment. Yeah, the answer for the book gives you the answer when you ask it about Dr. Light. It gives you the answer, the will of all mankind.
Whoa.
I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to say that. So I think I just transmit it. I transmit how that made me feel.
That's called making a face.
Yeah.
If you're not autistic. Like, just imagine you like say Dr. Light under your breath, and then you like make a face.
Mm-hmm.
All right. In which case, I'm going to force the issue. I've turned around now, and I'm like down at your level. I'm like, what? What is it?
The will of all mankind.
Damn right.
Let's get to work.
Yeah.
Thanks for the fix-up, boss. I'll see if I can't get you something good while we're topside.
Yeah.
Is there anything that I want to leave him? Oh, right, the shield. Getting the shield back. How the shield has changed. Is it just the?
I think it's I think it's been restored.
Yo.
Okay. Give me the text. Wait, did I give it to you as text before? I have. Let's see that. Okay. Yeah, I've got it.
I have a suggestion for how it's changed, but
I just haven't written this down. Do. All right. The shield has been modified in its repairs and its restoration. It had that crack has been like filled in with a new material, very high grade. Now the shield has been changed. Someone want to give me a read on this part?
Electrum shield. Ranged. Requires 0 power. Damage 0.6. Wild. Has advantage on attack rolls, but can only hit the closest target. +6 armor. Ooh.
Yeah. Now it is like dangerous to handle. It like gives off a bolt of electricity, like when you channel through it.
cool. Only hit the closest target, as in, like, if I'm standing right next to Jack and there's a cog 20 feet away, it hits me?
Yeah, it hits you.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
It incentivizes me to leap into danger.
Yeah.
Yes.
That 6 armor is pretty nice, too.
Yeah, the 6 armor is the same.
Yeah.
It doesn't give the connection separation disparity anymore because now it is like it is cracked, but it has been like fused back together with like gold.
Yeah.
It is now alloyed. Also, I know that Tarbek's favorite metal is Electrum.
Also, Electrum is significant to the game.
Electrum is also very significant to the game.
Yeah, I'm recording that.
Yeah. Here's what I'll say. The handle is the part that is copper now. That's how you channel into it. You like literally pump like you just surge a little bit of electricity into it and it like multiplies it.
Yeah.
Doesn't require power because it's just a super magic item. What if the Proto-Man shield was also... What if it's also a gun? What if we got to say, and it's also a gun?
Just like Ruby.
Just like Ruby! One of my new favorite shows.
You're welcome, Tarbek, for all of this intertextuality between literally all of your favorite things.
I was gonna say like Final Fantasy, but instead of a gun sword, it's a shield gun.
Yeah, that's also like Xenoblade 1.
And Xenoblade 3.
Is there a shield gun in that one?
Yeah. That's like a whole class of weapon.
Oh, was that Grey Boy? Does Grey Boy have that?
Yeah.
Okay.
He like plants it in the ground and it also is a turret.
Okay, right.
Anyways, yeah. Xenoblade's cool. Yeah, that's your new cool part.
Yeah.
All right, so Shadow Man and Joe are gonna infiltrate the show force. You guys are heading to the power district.
Yes.
You roll out of the machinist workshop and Can I get in? How are we doing on energy level? Are we good to go for a little while, or do we want to have a?
I'm good to keep going. I'm pretty energized.
Yeah.
How's my Danny D over there?
I could go follow a bit, yeah.
Okay.
Just to clear the slot, I am leaving the not upgraded emergency accelerator legs behind in order to take the shield.
Okay.
And with the explicit instructions of, listen, prioritize the cloak, but if you have time,
Yeah.
You want what did we do with my my upgraded ones? Did I give them to somebody?
yeah, you have me using.
I gave them to you, right? Okay.
Yeah. Jack has them now.
Is Jack still there, by the way? He's first.
All right. Starbucks internet has croaked, so we're gonna wrap the episode up there. Actually, Jack has been silenced by the cogs.
Haunting me infiltrated.
Oh
his
no! Antayumi strikes again.
Yeah, we gotta talk to him. We gotta touch base with Han, I think.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure he's gonna be real, like, where the fuck is my robot body?
Where the fuck is my robot body? Maybe I just invert talk. I don't know how audible that is.
No, that's
audible.
I don't know how easy that is to tell what that is if you don't have a good audio environment. But we'll figure that out later. We'll figure that out maybe next time. If he does appear.
Next time, liners.
Hopefully not on a 2-week break.
Yes.
All right. Bayonara, all the liners.
Bye.